Kia ora, hello, no mai, piri mai to Ash's Classroom, where I'll take you on a journey to help you video by video deep dive and deepen your understanding of te ao Māori. So let me start by telling you why there are so many taonga in te ao Māori that lend themselves to help the world become a way better connected place. And a disclaimer for any of y'all that want some sort of validity or kind of reference checking of anything that I might share with y'all, just know this. What you might learn or hear from me is drawn from the mana of my tupuna, from the waters of my river Whanganui, and all of the marae that blanket this beautiful place. And it's through my lived experience growing up and being within this ao Māori of mine that I'm able to share whatever I've got to share with y'all. So that's a little bit of my disclaimer, because what's right for one Māori is certainly not necessarily the same thing for other Māori. So let's get into it, eh? Let me start by introducing myself in this way. I te tīmatanga ko te kore nui, ko te kore roa heke iho mai ki a rangi nui e tū iho nei ki a papatu anu ko e takauto ake nei. Ko tahu ārangi te waka, ko rangi tukutuku te aho, ko piki mai rawe a te matau. Heke iho mai ki a ruapehu maunga ki a Whanganui awa, tunu haere puke kai whaiki marae, ko Ash Pātea tēnei e kōrero hian. Ki taku taha māma, me ngā tini hononga kia tūwhare toa, kia maniapoto, kia taranaki, tēnei ahau e tū nei, e mihi nei kia koutou. The first little gem of learning I offer is this. A o ao, which is the Māori word for world. Now we're going to start by going a little bit off track before coming back to this bit of learning. And it's this. Try and remember that everything has a whakapapa. Now what's a whakapapa? It's a genealogical connection back to someone or something else. Everything has a whakapapa. I coin that as kind of like a whakatauki, even though I can't necessarily kind of relate it to any particular person of some sort, but everything has a whakapapa. Everything has a whakapapa. Everything has a whakapapa. So weaving us back to a o ao, the Māori word for world, I offer this. It is a great first step by just understanding how a and o ao get its meaning. So a could be understood as all of the physical things in the world, and o could be understood as all of the metaphysical, spiritual things in the world, and combined, ao is how you get the Māori word for world. Basically saying that everything in the world is a balance between a and o, physical and metaphysical. And to give you an insight into a context that I started thinking about this and learning this as I was growing up is the conch, okay? The conch shell, which I don't have one right now. In different Māori contexts, it's blown to gather people together. And so you go, ooh, ooh, something along those lines, you know. And there was a particular sound that went, and you knew that it was for food, and they called that te ia a. And there was another frequency or sound that went, and you knew that that was the call to come together for karakia, and they called that te ia o. And so you can see how a and o kind of played out in this scenario, is that when my uncles blew the conch shell to gather their people together, there was an ia a sound that was used to call people together for kai, to sustain the physical, and an ia o sound to gather people to come together for karakia, a space where you kind of feed yourself different types of kai, kōrero, karakia, giving thanks, opening up to the world and all of the unseen things. And so I guess growing up and seeing that on a regular basis helped me get a gist of understanding these smaller concepts, a and o, and it just makes sense. Of course, Māori would say the world is an ao, because it really is made up of things physical and things spiritual. You know, for people that might not resonate with the idea that there are spiritual things or beings out there, it's really simply, in my view, the idea that there are things that you can't see but exist. Wind, oxygen, air as examples. I live right next to a river, the beautiful Whanganui, but I can't see the hole that it comes out of the ground in the mountain Tongariro, but I know it comes out of the ground somewhere. And so spiritual doesn't have to be something far-fetched or distant from you. It can be certainly understood as physical things in the tangible right in front of you, and or either metaphysical, spiritual, or just unseen things that you can't see, touch, or hear in the moment. So to summarize, to help y'all get a little understanding of how ao, the Māori word for world, might get its name, I'd simply say physical or spiritual, and everything in the world is made up of a balance between those two things. Mihi nui ki a koe ki a koutou katoa. So I hope you found some good value in this little classroom of mine. And if you want to find out more, there's some cool little micro courses in my website, www.education.co.nz. And you can buy, subscribe, download amazing resources that will help you sustain and retain any of these learnings. Mihi ana ki a koutou katoa.